Cognitive behavioral therapy is based on the idea that many of our emotions and behavioral reactions are shaped not so much by real events themselves, but by how we interpret those events. In other words, there is a filter, our thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions, between an event, a stimulus, and our reaction to it. If these thoughts are inaccurate, exaggerated, or overly negative, we experience more stress, anxiety, or other unpleasant emotions than we otherwise might. The 5 questions technique is one way to identify and test our thoughts for accuracy. It helps you figure out, are you blowing the situation out of proportion? What evidence supports and contradicts your interpretation? Are there alternative, more rational, or balanced ways of looking at the situation? The goal of the 5 questions is to transform automatic negative thoughts into more constructive ones. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to be artificially optimistic. Instead, it's about balance, recognizing real difficulties without catastrophizing, while also paying attention to resources and possibilities. Let's begin. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Prepare paper and a pen, or open a note-taking app on your smartphone or computer. Take a few calm breaths in and out to prepare yourself for working with your thoughts. Having written notes is important for better structuring your thoughts and returning to them later. Identify the situation and main thought. Recall a specific situation that triggered strong worry, sadness, or irritation. Write down the main automatic thought that came to mind, the one that caused the greatest discomfort. Example situation: I got fired. Automatic thought: I'm a failure. Nothing ever works out for me. Ask the first question: what evidence supports this thought? List all the arguments that confirm your negative or anxious thought. Try to be specific. Cite real-life examples that support your negative evaluation. For example, this isn't the first time I felt I didn't meet the requirements. Here we focus on the actual facts, backing up the idea that I'm a failure. Sometimes we discover that we don't actually have many concrete facts for this belief. Ask the second question: what evidence, facts, contradict this thought? Now write down anything that refutes your worrying or negative conclusions. Recall times when you managed, when things turned out better than expected. Last time I got fired, I quickly found a better job with higher pay and gained valuable experience. This is the stage where we look for counter-arguments and facts that call into question the statement, I'm a failure. Ask the third question: is there another explanation? Ask yourself, if I look at this situation from another angle, what else, besides my negative interpretation, could be true? The firing might be connected to staff cuts or changes in the company, not necessarily my shortcomings. The goal here is to recognize that any situation can have many shades of meaning, not just an extreme negative interpretation. Ask the fourth question: how realistic are my fears or worries? For example, worst case scenario, I'll remain unemployed, won't find anything new, and be left with no means to live on. 10%. Moderate scenario, I'll be job hunting for a while. It may be tough, but eventually I'll find something that more or less suits me, 50%. Best case scenario, I'll find a better position, maybe with higher pay or in a better team, since I have experience and now know what to look for, 30%. At this stage, we weigh the probabilities of various outcomes to avoid catastrophizing. Ask the fifth question: how can I reframe, change this thought into a more balanced one? Considering all you've discovered, try to restate your initial negative thought in a more rational, less distressing way, one that acknowledges your concerns, but also lets you see other possibilities and resources. Initial thought: I'm a failure. Nothing ever works out for me. New thought: it didn't work out this time, but there are examples where I succeeded. I can improve my result if I prepare differently. We're not looking for illusions, but a more realistic formulation that reflects the real state of affairs. Read your new thought and notice how it affects your emotional state. If you feel even slight relief, that suggests it's effective. If you still feel very anxious, go through the evidence again, or look for additional alternatives. A short written summary you can revisit later helps reinforce the results. The 5 questions technique is a proven tool from CBT designed to help you become more aware of your thoughts and prevent them from automatically amplifying negative emotions. Regular practice develops critical thinking skills regarding your automatic responses and teaches you to find a more balanced perspective on challenging situations more quickly. If your anxiety or depressive feelings persist for a long time and don't respond to self-help, don't hesitate to seek professional assistance from a psychologist or psychotherapist. Thank you for being here with me.